Ashish Bhutani joins us, Chief Executive Officer at Bhutani Infra. It just came out in the news that they, along with Bonnie Kapoor, will be developing the film city near Jewar. That's in Noida on the outskirts, where a new airport is coming up along with the Zurich Airport Authority. So thank you very much, Mr. Bhutani, and congratulations on that big announcement. Can you give our viewers a sense of how you're looking at this budget, particularly when it comes to infrastructure and the concern that's been voiced that a lot of the spending actually seems to be happening from the government for government-led expenditure, and the level of enthusiasm amongst India Inc. Doesn't seem to be quite as high. How do you respond to that?
So very honestly, the first and the foremost thing that I think we require from the budget is a single window clearance system. To get you better clarity, I'd just like to draw a little example. China last year contributed, the real estate in China that is, contributed to 30% of entire country's GDP. That's almost more than $5.5 trillion. That's more than 1.5 times of the Indian economy. To show what real estate can actually do for the country, we have to look at better examples than what other countries are actually doing. India in the future, the real estate sector that is, can become the very backbone of the Indian economy. So yes, I do agree that private sector, the government should look at the private sector more. I agree the road spending, the money that is being spent is not profit making, but that is very necessary. But there has to be a certain budget that needs to be put down for a project like a film city. I think it is one of the best examples that you have given, yes. The current scenario where it was really required, it will not only boost. In fact, I'll give you another example. I was speaking to a few gentlemen yesterday in the evening, and they were congratulating me. They even said the land nearby where the film city is announced has escalated more than 25% within the last 24 hours just after this announcement. The expectations from the film city and the actual reality showing in less than 24 hours, with the level of excitement, with the level of demands that are coming in, people calling me and asking me what will be there, how they can support. It's just very, very overwhelming.
And the interesting part of that, Ashish, is that we are actually located at the moment in what was supposed to be the original film city. In the 1980s, the area which we are in, Noida, was to be the original film city. It turned out eventually to be a bit of a television city.
But the big difference is the last government split up the parcels of land into small plots and everybody got one. This time round, the UP government wanted to give the whole thing out to one, which is where Ashish and the Bhutani groups actually stepped in. They wanted to develop the whole thing, and since you are live, why don't you give us a 20-second peek into what to expect and how this plays in the larger UP and India infra story, Ashish?
See, film city, God willingly, this will be one of the best film cities in the world. What we are trying to do is get tourism into the film city and supporting tourism via the film city. It will be supporting each other. The kind of infrastructure that we are planning there, from the best in the world to the first time things coming in the world, India will actually set now the example for the whole world to look forward to. There will be landmarks which have never been even attempted before. That is the kind of thing.
The reason I raised the 1980s was because in the 1980s, maybe we were ahead, maybe India was not ready to look beyond Mumbai. Mumbai was the center of it all. There was the thought that you could create an alternate film city. A few film personalities, the likes of Romesh Sharma, the Mehras, took up properties, but they never scaled it up. Now I think India has the capacity. I think that's what the point. Pre-liberalization, India was not ready for an alternate grand film city. Post-liberalization, India is. I mean, Hyderabad, Mumbai, and now who knows, Noida.
And also they've tried 3 or 4 different times to get the same project going with no success. And finally they've been, so, it's in any infrastructure project, it's very difficult to get it going on day one. 3 or 4 attempts failed. And then they've been able to get this going. And the idea is to have something big and grand. And that sort of is part of what the government likes to do, have big results, big infrastructure projects. They don't like, sabko ek plot kaat ke do you make your own little buildings. They don't like that.
No, you look at the kind of projects which they have always done. In fact, even the recent Atal Setu, which is from Mumbai. I mean, look at the grand scale of that. I think that is something which the government is very clear that you need to, it's also a statement in that sense.
And also getting its timelines right. I mean, this was a project,
Absolutely.
the Atal Setu, which has been pending for years. The government fast forwarded it. I think the Prime Minister launched it 2016, 2017. In 7 years, you've got it in place.
All marks to Devendra Fadnavis for, doggedly chasing
Sure,
to get it back.
I think a lot of the Mumbai infra projects, Mr. Fadnavis deserves, huge credit for. There's another side, of course, and I wonder whether I'm being party pooper to say there's a difference between this government's record on physical infrastructure, which has been first rate, and on social infrastructure, health and education, which is a huge question mark. Is there that? Am I right?
Rajiv Kumar joins
Rajiv
us.
Kumar, in saying that, you've been with Niti Aayog, so you will be able to tell us better. If I were to look, government give them high marks for physical infrastructure, but not done so well on social infrastructure, health and education.
I'm not so sure, Raj. Simply because if you look at the number of medical colleges, for example, I think it's gone up probably 3 times now. If you look at the number of central universities and the IITs, etc., all of them have been increased.
No sign of greater quality, though, sir. With due regard.
But you're right there in the sense that yes, now is the time to focus much more on quality of basic health, basic education, primary education. Enrollment numbers for primary education are now beyond 100%. But so now is the time to focus on quality. I agree with you completely. But on social infrastructure as such, this government has done a huge lot. The Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan has been implemented very well. The national education policy that's come out, it's a remarkable policy. Now its implementation has got to be done. But also please remember that social sectors are principally the responsibility of the state governments. And the central government can play only that much of a role, which it has done for higher education. But I completely agree with you that the quality of higher education, the quality also of our primary education and of primary health. Ayushman Bharat, by the way, the National Health Authority, the medical insurance, of 5 lakhs for about 50 crore, 500 million people. These are unprecedented steps that the
There's
government
some talk today that too could be expanded. I mean, the possibility of Ayushman Bharat being sort of scaled up even further is not being ruled out. Yes, Mr. Garg, you're smiling when you're looking at...
No, if you look at the expenditure on health and education, you are right. 5 years, actually, there is no growth in the health and education expenditure.